Why is the United Arab Emirates backing a genocidal militia? Satellite images and UN reports show the UAE is arming a paramilitary group, which is trying to take over Sudan by force. The country's civil war has displaced 12 million people and left 25 million facing acute hunger. The UAE rejects these accusations, but evidence of its role backing the rapid support forces is overwhelming. So why is it involved? One argument is that the UAE wants Sudan's gold. There are multiple gold mines in Sudan, including here, here, and here. And gold is important to the Emirates. The country has become a gold refining hub, and gold is now its most valuable non-hydrocarbon export. But here's the thing, the UAE already imports almost all of Sudan's gold. What's more, the Emirates has a $500 billion economy, so importing slightly more gold doesn't make much of a difference. Another argument is agriculture. Sudan has more land that could be used for farming than any other African country. That interests the UAE, which is highly dependent on imports. As a desert country, 90% of its food comes from abroad. But the UAE already controls tens of thousands of hectares of Sudanese farmland and imports tens of millions of dollars of its crops. Others suggest that the UAE is after geopolitical influence. Sudan has a large coastline on the Red Sea. That makes it a strategic location for trade and security. But there's another explanation, a more compelling one. The UAE seems motivated by ideology. Its president, Mohammed bin Zayed, is fiercely hostile to political Islam. In Sudan, Islamist officers wield power within the army. That seems to be why the UAE is backing a militia that's fighting against the army. It follows a pattern of the Emirates trying to carve out its own sphere of influence, distinct from regional rivals like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Turkey. A few years ago, it supported a warlord who unsuccessfully tried to overthrow the government of Libya. It supports secessionists in Yemen. It also backs the leaders of Puntland and Somaliland, two breakaway republics in Somalia. And the UAE is skeptical of the Islamist-led government that has emerged in Syria. But nowhere has its foreign policy had more devastating consequences than in Sudan, where the government accused the UAE of complicity in genocide. The UAE's policy has managed to anger America, China, and Russia, no small feat in 2025. Even though the RSF has lost some ground, there are no signs that Emirati support for the militia is waning. That means its role fueling the world's worst humanitarian crisis looks likely to continue.
Do you know what Eid looks like for millions in Sudan this year? It's not about new clothes, family gatherings, or big meals. For many families, it's just another day of hunger. Right now, over 24 million people are facing food insecurity. But your Qurbani can bring some relief and real joy. With SAPA, your donation goes directly to the families in Sudan, where it's needed most. You can help put meat on someone's table this Eid. This Eid, let's spread hope. Give your Qurbani through SAPA. Allahumma barik.
Yeah, so these are satellite images of mass graves in Sudan. Satellites orbiting the West Darfur region are capturing atrocity after atrocity and are showing expanding mass graves. Satellite imagery analysis from the last few days has proven that 379 new graves were dug in the Abu Shuk displacement camp, and roughly 349, again, new graves were dug in military sites around El Fasher. That is over 700 new graves in RSF-controlled areas. El Fasher has become an epicenter of suffering after 500 days of siege. More than 600,000 people have been displaced from the city and the surrounding camps, but there are still 260,000 people trapped in El Fasher, including half of them being children. They are trapped under deplorable conditions, spread of disease, and have had no access to aid for 16 months. The humanitarian situation is worsening. The violence is escalating. This is genocide, plain and simple, by the RSF and its supporters in the UAE, Turkey, China, Russia, all of them. Massacres in Sudan are so horrific that you can see the blood trails from satellite. Satellite imagery has picked up blood trails because there has been a mass execution of civilians. Fasher has fallen to the RSF, which is backed by the UAE. The UK has been suppressing any criticism of the fact that it is backed and supported by the UAE. RSF forces went door to door, executing civilians, dragging them from their home, asking men if they are soldiers before executing them in public. And the blood trails are from civilians trying to flee. Regular people, regular families trying to flee. Satellite imagery over Fasher shows reddish, brownish colouring on the ground outside doors from the mass executions. And it is estimated that hundreds have been killed, if not in the thousands, over the course of a few days in one specific area. And it should come as a surprise to no one that Israel is one of the main suppliers of arms to the UAE, who is the main backer of the RSF.
It's over. Many of us have gone the past 2 years without even saying one thing about Sudan. The biggest humanitarian crisis in the entire world. It's officially being reported now that hundreds of thousands of our Muslim brothers and sisters, innocent people, have died due to the civil war. And right now, there's thousands of people that are trapped with nowhere to go. And they're trying to escape, they're trying to leave, but they're trapped. And have we even made dua for them, genuine dua, one time, or said anything about them? It seems like they've been forgotten. But we never know what dua will be accepted, and we never know which one of our du'as could save someone. May Allah protect our brothers and sisters in Sudan. Ya Allah, you are their protector, so protect them. Ya Allah, save them. Ya Allah, grant them freedom and security and safety. Ya Allah, if they are hungry, feed them, and if they are sick, cure them. Ya Allah, protect them. Please say Ameen.
There's an ethnic cleansing and genocide going on in Sudan right now as we speak, and no one's talking about it. The death toll is estimated to be over 150,000, and there's been over 522,000 kids that have been starved to death, and millions of people displaced. It's so easy to get lost in these stats and these numbers, but you have to realize that each one of these stats is a life. The world has failed Sudan on a global stage. No one is talking about Sudan except for Sudanese people, and it breaks my heart. Right now, as we speak, there are thousands in Fasher being starved and tortured by the RSF. The RSF who are backed and funded by the UAE. So when we as Sudanese people tell you to boycott the UAE, don't buy gold from there, don't travel there. The UAE is to Sudan what Israel is to Palestine. The genocide going on in Sudan is just as important as other atrocities going on in the world today. So when we're told that we're just a talking point to distract from other conflicts, think twice about that statement. Talk about Sudan.
طيب دي أدلة دامغة بتأكد إنه الإمارات هي تدخل إماراتية. ولو يقربنا الصورة هنا يونايتد عرب إمارات وأبو ظبي. تاريخ الصنع شهر 1/20/20. دي الحاجات اللي جيناها بس في هنا في طرف المدينة. دي الكتابة هنا ممكن تقرب الصورة.
الإمارات العربية المتحدة كلها
دي كلها بتجيب احنا شنو؟
الله يجيب رسالة واحنا نستلم
برضه الكورنيت الحمد لله برضه.
New satellite imagery is painting a grim picture of what may have happened in Sudan this week. Troops from Sudan's paramilitary Rapid Support Forces, the RSF, gained control of the besieged city of Fasher, seizing it amid a months-long and deadly struggle for territory that has led to an alleged genocide. In this report from Yale's Humanitarian Research Lab, the lab notes numerous clusters as being consistent with the size of bodies that were not visible in prior imagery.
I've been a war crimes investigator for 26 years. I have been monitoring this conflict and this siege in Fasher for 18 months. What we are seeing is a mass killing of genocidal scale that we assess at the Yale School of Public Health Humanitarian Research Lab with high confidence is occurring at probably the fastest scale of killing I've ever seen in my career.
These images corroborate reports from on-the-ground testimonies obtained by CNN that many civilians were killed by the RSF as they took the city. Light-coloured clusters and reddish discoloration on the ground can be seen around a hospital and other buildings. The report suggests these may be consistent with human bodies and blood. In some cases, experts say gun-mounted pickup trucks consistent with the RSF vehicles are also observed near the bodies. The report reflects mounting evidence pointing towards possible war crimes committed by the RSF in what has become one of the world's worst humanitarian crises.
Sudan is bleeding. Guys, the situation in Sudan is getting worse every single day. I don't know whether you guys have seen the videos that are circulating on social media. Like, I can't play them here, but I will just talk about it. Guys, Sudan is bleeding, guys. Sudan is bleeding. This is getting out of hand. Like, civilians are dying for no reason. Like, it is getting out of hand, guys. If you've seen those videos, nah. Everybody deserves peace. Everybody deserves life. Everybody deserves to live. Again, this is getting out of hand. Only those that have seen. If you've not seen, just go and search, see on media what is happening. People being killed like chicken in Sudan. People being killed like chicken in Sudan. When it is affecting Sudan, it's the same thing like in South Sudan. This same country has suffered for years, you understand? Guys, the situation is... Share this video, guys. Share to people. Like, this is getting out of hand. People need peace. People deserve life. They're dying of hunger. They're dying of it's like a genocide that is happening. Let's just say it's a genocide happening in Sudan, guys. The situation is getting worse and worse every day. And the problem is this content is not being pushed out of media. Why? Because it is an African country, right? If it is things happening like in Ukraine, things happening out of in Russia, happening in China, United States, Canada, Europe, it would be flooding media right now. But it's not on media. It's not on media. And you never know. TikTok might even take down my account, or Instagram might take down my account or my video for talking about it. Like, the situation is really getting out of hand. You get? I'm just risking to post about it. You know the reason as to why most influencers don't post about this content? It's because it's very sensitive, and the media is controlled by you understand, and they wouldn't want you to push out content like this, you understand? But this situation is getting worse, guys. We need to pray for Sudan, guys. The situation in Sudan is getting worse.
Major breaking news. The entire world needs to listen on what is happening in Sudan. There is a major crisis that has just struck Sudan. The RSF, the Janjaweed, are actually unaliving the Sudanese mercilessly. Imagine, in less than 24 hours, they have unalived more than 2,000 Sudanese. They are even going door to door, unaliving women and children. They're literally doing ethnic cleansing. And let me tell you, according to reports that we're getting, the UAE are funding the RSF in this ongoing genocide in Sudan. And according to the analysis of everything, the weapons came from the United Kingdom. So the United Kingdom knew clearly that these particular weapons they're selling to UAE, they will be funded to the RSF in Sudan. But they went ahead and sold them to UAE to go and actually do the atrocities. This is what is happening in Africa. The entire world should rise and denounce the RSF group, because there is no peace in Sudan right now. And the world is quiet. Please speak out to these innocent souls that are losing their lives. Please.
ظلمن إذا ما كنت مقتدرا وظلم آخره يفضي إلى الندم واحذر أخي من المظلوم دعوته لا تأخذنك سهام الليل في الظلم تنام عيناك والمظلوم منتبه يدعو عليك وعين الله لم تنم